I have this blown up so you can see where it is I'm going to be clicking to, because sometimes when we get into some of these buttons, if you're watching on my screen, it may be a little hard for you to see. But you, assuming that you're already signed into your EHT account, so you're not going to be in your personal one, unless, like I said, you're going to be YouTube famous, in which case you're going to be in your famous YouTube account. But assuming you're in your school Google account, you'll have to be logged in. You'll just put in your email and password that you use to get into like all your other Google things. There's technically a waiting YouTube channel for you that you will end up activating once you upload your first video. It's part of that whole Google for Education suite that even if you didn't realize you had a channel, you technically had one waiting for you if you've never uploaded anything before. Even if you haven't uploaded anything, you technically could still do that playlist idea that I mentioned of gathering other videos that you like, make yourself a playlist. You don't have to own any of that content, but for the purposes of showing you how to upload your content, that's what I'm going to go do right now. Once you are signed in, you're going to end up hitting this sort of little camera with the plus sign. That's what you'll need in order to get to upload video. And you'll only be able to get to this step once you've exported your video. So if you try to attach your iMovie project file or your, you'll be able to tell they look different. Project files are not going to go anywhere because they're not exported. You have to upload your exported video content. So now I'm going to share this tab instead. I'm going to hit this plus sign to get to upload. And then you'll see I can select the files I want to upload from here. So I'll be able to select my files, and it's going directly to my computer, remember, not to Google Drive. You'll have to, if you have a video you like in Google Drive, like that you made in Meet, for example, you would have to go through and download that Meet video in order to get to this next step. So in my downloads area, there's my video I made, my video from a few minutes ago. I'll hit open. And this is where some of the buttons that you have to choose are. So if you are planning to do video for EHT, pay attention the next couple of minutes because this is going to make a difference of whether your kids can see your video or not. I recommend changing it so it doesn't say my video. Maybe you can say COM 101 intro video. You can put a description. I don't think it'll actually even let you not put a description. You have to put something on there. So even if it's the date, like 9/2/2020, you have to put something there. And I'll also mention too, if you end up putting this in Google Classroom, the title and the description, part of that information translates over to Google Classroom. So that'll be helpful when you actually attach it, that the kids will know which video they're watching. If you want to get creative, you can upload your own thumbnail. I think you have to have used Google or YouTube already for you to have that option. So you may not be able to upload your own right away, but you'll have 3 different auto-generated options that you can choose which one looks best if you don't have this upload thumbnail become available to you. You can see, like in this case, it's all pretty much the same, but this one has like a welcome back type of, so I think that's going to work better as the thumbnail. I will get into playlists later, but if you did create multiple playlists for your students, you could add it to whatever playlist that it belongs to. This is what's important though. You want to say that your video is, yes, it's made for kids, because especially if you're at the middle school or younger students, if they don't, I forget which it might be FERPA. I can't remember which one it is for 13 and under. So I hope you'll excuse me on the terminology there. Oh, COPA, there, it's right there. So any students that are 13 and younger using YouTube, if it's not turned on for yes, it's made for kids, they chances are cannot access your video content if you say no, it's not made for kids. Especially if they're in their school Google account. I mean, technically, if they were in their parents' account, yeah, they're able to find your video. But that just to avoid that problem altogether, I would choose yes, it's made for kids. The other reason why you want to do this is this turns off the commenting feature. So you're not having students leaving, ridiculous comments on your videos. Allow them to maybe use Google Classroom to ask questions or to send you emails. Don't encourage them to use the commenting feature on Google and on YouTube. So yes, it's made for kids is for COPA, and it's also to turn off commenting no matter what. Once you have that, you're going to hit next. I leave this screen alone. This is when you become a famous YouTuber and you're endorsed and you have, you know, subscribers and you wanted to have them go on to the next video or click for more information or to subscribe. That's where all that stuff comes in. If you are going to be famous and do it, you'll need to know that, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm going to hit next. The last thing you want to make sure you're doing is you want to do save or publish, because that's what the last step will be. Here are 3 different levels of publishing though. If you choose private, that is locking the video down that only you, when you're logged into your account, is able to see the video. So that's not a video that you can share with your students. That is just locked down for you. Think of the unlisted level being that, you know how when we're in Google Drive, there's like anyone with a link can view, or when you go to share something on Google Classroom, it turns into that. Unlisted is basically the same thing. So someone is not going to be able to search on YouTube to find your video, but if you provided them a link, they would be able to see it. So I'm thinking the majority of time, you're going to want to have your videos be at least at the unlisted level. If you turn it on to public, then anyone who has a link, and they also can search for you on YouTube for the title or for your name of your channel or whatever it is, that's going to be like whenever you search for a YouTube video, something comes up, your video would then eventually be populated into that list. Depending on your content and the words that they search, you know, your video may be very far down on the list, or when you become a YouTube sensation, you might be the first thing that comes up. It's a little hard to gauge because it's very unique to the video and to the keywords that they might be searching. So don't be surprised if you tell a student to search for a video and you don't come up right away. That's where instead I would probably either give them a direct link in Google Classroom or maybe encourage them to subscribe to your channel so that they know where they can go find the videos that you create. When they talk about, you know, hit the bell to subscribe and be notified, like all the kids talk about, the students could decide if you have your channel accessible, that they get like a ding anytime you post a new video, and they would be able to be notified and be able to access that video right away. Depends really how you plan on using this, but that's where I'm saying at least go to the unlisted level to be able to post your videos. You can also schedule it to come out later, but when you schedule something, it then automatically becomes public. So if you stick with unlisted, you could just not share the video link right away and no one would be able to get it regardless. Finally, you'll hit save. And you can see it gives you a link that you could then copy and put into your Google Classroom or onto your website for the school, wherever it is you want to post it, and the students would be able to access it that way. Questions about uploading video to YouTube? Anybody?
Ileana, a question about quality. When you like create a video, I did, I think it was called Edu Creations. Is kind of like a digital whiteboard screen recording thing on an iPad.
Okay.
And then I saved it and then uploaded it to YouTube. And I felt like the quality really got diminished. Is that probably a setting that I missed somewhere, or?
I would say without having seen the video, it most likely must have been in your export process, whatever settings it had from that website that you created it on. Would be my guess, because YouTube by default is supposed to at least have a toggle for you to be able to change the settings if high definition was an option. That's depending on the kid's computer or your bandwidth. Like there's a lot of factors of why a video may not play in the best quality on YouTube, but YouTube will accept the highest quality that it's set to no matter what. So if I were to go back to another video, let me just do like virtual graduation for a second. I think it'll be on there. So you can actually see that for virtual graduation, I have both a standard definition and high definition. So as long as there was a high definition option, like when you uploaded your video, you check back later, if high definition is there, then most likely the playback was like because of a bad connection or a load on the computer or something like that. But if you only see SD, standard definition, that means that the video you uploaded was not high enough quality.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah,